Hello, this is Manuela, your guiding light, and this YouTube video is about end of relationship in Akashic Records. So when does your relationship really ends? And I'm talking about a romantic relationship with your partner. So all your relationships are planned before you come down to earth. When you were creating your soul plan, you sign a soul contract with all your partners, everybody that you're in love, everybody that you even had a little crush on. You sign a soul contract with them for different reasons. All soul contracts are different. So all your relationships were planned before you come down to earth. The soul contracts were put in a place in heaven before you come down to earth. And you and all your partners in this lifetime agreed on it. The soul contract that you sign are based on soul lessons that you want to learn, both of you. And that what is the major and the most important thing in relationship. On a soul level, the soul contracts and the soul lessons are very important. That's what defines how long the relationship is going to last. Now, if there's only one soul contract that's going to say, that's going to define relationship that's going to last all your life, happily. And that is if the soul contract is to bring joy in each other's life. If you both have soul contract to bring joy in each other's life, then you will have a good relationship and you will experience joy in that relationship. That is the only one soul contract that you can have a good relationship to last in all this lifetime. Everything else is just a lesson. And whenever it's a lesson, it means the relationship is never 100% sure that it's going to last. Some soul contracts can be very short. And these are the people that you meet for a couple of weeks, or for a couple of months, or for a couple of years. So that means the soul contracts are not really big and important. So we have really big, important soul contracts that can help you to change, make life changes. And we have very small soul contracts that can help you just realize something or understand something. So again, that's different as well. But the relationship will normally end when one person learned the lesson and the other one didn't. Or they both not learning the lesson. So you'll find that there are those really challenging relationships where you're constantly breaking up and coming back and breaking up and coming back. That means that you're not learning lessons at all. You're not making any changes. And that it's very likely that that relationship eventually will end for good. The reason why it's sort of on and off all the time is because even that minute when you decided to go, when your guides decided to close these books, they still give you time to make change or to reconsider. So in that time, while you have chance to reconsider, you will do that. You will go back and forth. People that are indecisive, that not sure what they want, and especially if they have a soulmate where this connection is so strong but lessons are not learned, that can happen that you're going to go back and forth all the time. And if one partner learned the lesson and the other didn't, relationship will end definitely there. And again, the books will be open for some times to give them chance if the partner still wants to stay or come back. And that lasts for 7 years. After 7 years, the books are completely closed and soul contracts can be cancelled. So especially the soul contract can be cancelled if the other partner that didn't learn the lesson cannot let go. This is very important to understand that you can cancel the soul contract once you learn the lesson, and another partner cannot give you a freedom, can constantly trying to get you back and cannot let go. So this is the times when you can cancel the soul contract. If the other partner let go as well, and accepted the new partner that meant to teach that partner lesson, because the partner that didn't learn the lesson will attract another until it learns the lesson. So and for sometimes it happens that a partner holding on to their ex and they just can't move forward, then they actually blocking all the other soul contracts, and they're not really learning the lessons. So in that case, you can actually cancel the soul contract. So I'm just going to give you one little example here, and this is a really short. The soul contracts can be quite long. So let's just say that Tina signed a soul contract with Mark to teach him to be honest, and Mark to teach Tina to trust. So this would be a common contract. So if Tina is learning to trust, she will attract somebody that's lying. And so how will Tina learn to trust? By recognizing the lies and not to allow it to affect her, not to give too much attention to the lies. So to learn about lies or to trust, you will notice the lies, you will point it to Mark. She will have to point it to Mark, because Mark is learning to be honest, and he cannot learn unless Tina is pointing his lies. And that's the soul contract. That's what she is meant to do. In the same time, it helps her to learn her lessons, to point the lies and not to hold on to them for too long, not to think about them for too long. That's the way she can understand why people are lying and accept it, and eventually learn to trust. So Mark would be a dishonest person that is lying a lot, and Tina, honest lies are very hard for her, very hard to accept the lies. Tina learned to trust by focusing on positive aspects, not lies. So that is the only way for somebody to learn to trust. It's noticing the lies and point the lies when she needs to, and then detach from it. Now Mark, in order for him to learn his lesson, he'll have to accept whenever Tina pointing the lies to him, and look inside and see how he needs to change that, to understand that it's not helping the relationship, and make some changes. So in this case, the relationship will end if one of them learned the lesson, or the relationship can continue if they both learn the lesson. So the only way to keep this type of relationship, which is very challenging relationship, is for both of them to learn the lesson. Then they can continue. They might not have a really wonderful relationship, but they could at least have some sort of relationship. They might not be truly happy, but they could stay in relationship. To sustain in a relationship, they both have to learn the lesson. For example, if Tina learned to trust and she learned her lesson, immediately she won't be happy in that relationship anymore, because Mark didn't learn the lesson. So it will still bother her that he's dishonest, and deep inside, immediately she will wish for honest person. Because if she learned the lesson, she will wish for honest person. Soon as it's our desires and our thoughts that change our soul plan. So if somebody desires an honest person, that means she learned the lesson, so she can move forward. Immediately on her soul plan will show that this relationship can end. Her guides will immediately start working on changing the books, which means getting rid of the books, preparing to close the books and the contract between Tina and Mark, and opening some new books for Tina, opening the way for her to leave the relationship. So our soul contract will change soon as we have new desires, a new way of thinking. And that can happen only through learning the lessons. When we're not learning the lesson, we have the same old way of thinking, and we can't change anything. Nothing changes on our soul plan. And your guides cannot put any new plans in place. They can only keep switching the same plan all over and over again. So soon as Tina starts thinking that she's not happy in this relationship anymore, that sends like a request to her guides, and they start working on bringing changes immediately. Now that in our time can take a while, but that's the reason why they give us 7 years for this preparation. So Tina would have 7 years to leave this relationship, to use any choice she has and reveal if she wants to go back. But after 7 years, the books of that relationship will be open, but not used. It's almost like your guides will have the books open there, but they will not look at it, they won't use it. They're preparing it to close it. So, for example, Tina can go back as many times she wants. The only thing that's going to happen, it keeps repeating this same thing all over again. She will find out that she's not happy and she's going to leave. And she can go back again to find out that she's not happy and she's going to leave again. So that's what happens. It's only that the last bit of the soul contract keeps repeating all the time until the soul or Tina, for example, in this case, realize that this is not working for her and ready to actually completely cut the ties and move on. So the soul contract stays open for 7 years after even Tina leaves the relationship, giving chance to Mark to learn the lesson. So if Mark doesn't learn the lesson for 7 years, then this relationship is over for good. Which means what happens in Akashic Records. In Akashic Records, your guides closing those books, closing the soul contracts. And Tina can cancel the soul contract. She can do whatever she wants. She's not bound by the contract anymore. So she can actually cancel the soul contract. Now, if children are involved in a relationship, on soul level, in the soul contracts in Akashic Records, it doesn't really mean a lot. It doesn't mean that they're gonna keep those books open because this couple have children. For the children's sake, the way we think logically, the way our mind, ego thinks, that you should stay in a relationship because you have children, that it's not the case at all in the soul contract, on the soul level. In Akashic Records, children sign a soul contract with parents. So it really depends on the soul contract with children and parents. So for example, if children came on a very end of relationship, which means, let's just say if Tina and Mark had children and Tina left the relationship soon as she has second child or third child, she had the children that she needs to have, and she left after that very quick, months after that, or few months or a year after that. That indicates that children in this soul contract didn't sign really big soul contracts with both parents, only one. So the parents that have the children that stayed with that parents, that's the parent that the children sign a mind soul contract with. And this is the case when some parents lose their children and they want to try to take their children back and they don't get it because the children didn't sign soul contract with that person. And could be for many different reasons. Mainly, it could be the karma to children. For example, if children lose one of the parent and they don't see that parent anymore, that means that the children paying some karma back. Maybe in a past life they neglected one of their parents. Maybe they abandoned one of their parents. Maybe they done wrong to one of their parents. So, in that case, in this lifetime, one of the parents won't be there for them because they have to learn that it's because of the karma. So this is all defines the relationship, is the soul contract with children. It really doesn't have much to do with the soul contract of partners. Sometimes, especially in this case, if the partner leaves very soon after the children are born, in that case, the mind soul contract between couple here is to give them the children. And if female lives with children then the major soul contract between this couple was to actually give them the gift of children. If the partner leaves much after the children are born, if the children stay in an unhealthy relationship and one of the parents cannot find the courage to move and the children stay there, they actually, or the parents decide to stay together for the sake of children, that means that the children signed the soul contract for that. They signed soul contract to stay in this unhealthy relationship, to learn something, to learn compassion, or to learn tolerance, depends what they're learning, to learn about relationships. So that means the children sign soul contract with both these parents to stay together so they can actually learn something from it. So that really defines, but really it has not much to do with parents' contract. It's all got to do with children and parents' contract. Sometimes what can happen that a mother could give a child birth or have a child when the father it's not there, the father already left. Again, that means that the mother signed a soul contract with the father just to give her the children or the child, even if it's just one child, even if it was one night stand. That was the soul contract, for the father to give her the child. That means this child was really meant to come, and the child in this case would have only soul contract with mother, not with the father. So this can happen as well. So I hope you understand this video. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and if you did like this video, please click on like or subscribe. Bye bye for now.